Tyler Durden isn't real. He never was. He's a servitor, a thought form created through desperation, insomnia, and the focused will of a man who wanted to destroy his own life. And here's the terrifying part. Once enough people believed in him, he became autonomous. He became real. Fight Club isn't just a movie about toxic masculinity or anti-consumerism. It's about chaos magic, egregores, and the occult practice of creating independent entities through belief. Tyler Durden is the most successful magical working in modern cinema, and nobody noticed. Today, we're breaking down the chaos magic of Tyler Durden, how he was created, how he gained power, and why he's still out there, recruiting believers 25 years later. This isn't film analysis. This is occult instruction hidden in plain sight. Hit that subscribe button. Now let's begin. The Servitor Made Flesh. In chaos magic, a postmodern occult practice developed in the 1970s by artists and magicians like Austin Osman Spare and Peter J. Carroll, there's a concept called a servitor. A servitor is a thought form, an entity created through focused intention, emotional energy, and altered states of consciousness. You build it in your mind, you give it a purpose, you feed it with belief and attention, and if you do it right, it becomes autonomous. It starts acting independently. It becomes, for all practical purposes, alive. Tyler Durden is a servitor. Look at the conditions of his creation. Jack, the narrator, our protagonist, has been suffering from severe insomnia for 6 months. He hasn't slept. His mind is fractured. He's in a constant altered state of consciousness, which is exactly the condition required for deep magical work. He's desperate, suicidal, obsessed with death. He attends support groups for diseases he doesn't have just to feel something, just to cry, just to connect with other people who are dying, and then Marla Singer shows up and ruins it. She's a faker too, and her presence destroys Jack's ability to lose himself in the grief. He can't cry anymore, he can't sleep, he's trapped in his own head with no release. This is the moment of maximum desperation, maximum emotional intensity, maximum need, and that's when Tyler appears. If you watch the film closely, Tyler shows up in single-frame flashes before Jack consciously meets him. He's at the doctor's office, he's in the support group, he's on the moving walkway at the airport. The servitor is already forming, flickering in and out of Jack's perception, waiting to fully manifest. And then, on the plane, Jack falls asleep, finally, and when he wakes up, Tyler is sitting next to him. You're the most interesting single-serving friend I've ever met. The servitor has arrived, but here's where it gets darker. Jack goes home to find his apartment has exploded. Everything he owns, his IKEA furniture, his clothes, his entire identity, destroyed. And who does he call? Tyler. Tyler, who we later learn caused the explosion. Tyler, who destroyed Jack's life to force the transformation. Because that's what servitors do. They fulfill their purpose without regard for your comfort or safety. Jack created Tyler to destroy his old life, and Tyler did exactly that. In chaos magic, this is called a successful working. You set an intention, you create the entity, and it manifests results. Tyler Durden is the result, but servitors don't stay small. They grow. And as Fight Club spreads, as more men start believing in Tyler, something shifts. Tyler stops being Jack's personal creation. He becomes an egregore, a collective thought form sustained by group belief, and egregores don't need their original creator anymore. Tyler becomes real, independent, unstoppable. The philosophy of creative destruction. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. This is Tyler's core teaching, and it's not just philosophy, it's magical instruction. In alchemy, there's a principle called solve et coagula. Dissolve and coagulate. Break down the old form so the new form can emerge. You can't transform without first destroying what exists. Chaos magic takes this literally. You have to destroy your old belief systems, your old identity, your old attachments, before you can rebuild yourself into something new. Tyler forces this process on Jack violently. The apartment explosion isn't an accident, it's a ritual. Jack's entire identity was wrapped up in his possessions. His Scandinavian furniture, his clever coffee table, his green duvet cover from the IKEA catalog. What kind of dining set defines me as a person? This is the trap of consumer culture. You think you're building an identity, but you're actually being defined by objects. You're letting external things tell you who you are. Tyler sees this. The things you own end up owning you, he says, and he's right. Jack isn't free. He's a slave to his possessions, his job, his carefully curated life. He's bound by invisible chains, what chaos magicians would call consensus reality. the agreed-upon illusion that this is what life is supposed to be. Tyler's job is to shatter that illusion. So he blows up the apartment. He forces Jack to hit rock bottom. Not because he's cruel, but because rock bottom is the only place where transformation can begin. In occult terms, this is ego death, the dissolution of the false self, the nigredo phase of alchemy, the blackening, the putrefaction, the necessary decay before rebirth. But here's the key difference between Tyler and traditional spiritual teachers. Tyler doesn't just guide you to rock bottom. He throws you there. He doesn't ask permission. He doesn't ease you into it. He destroys your life and tells you it's freedom. And the horrifying thing? He's not entirely wrong. Jack's life was a prison. His job calculating car recalls based on cost-benefit analysis of human deaths. That's soul-destroying work. His insomnia, his numbness, his support group addiction, these are symptoms of a man already dead inside. Tyler doesn't kill Jack. He kills the idea of Jack. The corporate drone, the consumer, the slave. What's left is raw potential, chaos, the prima materia of alchemy, the formless substance from which anything can be created. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. Tyler's philosophy is creative destruction. Burn it all down so something real can grow in its place. The question is, what grows, and who controls it? The chemical burn initiation. One of the most brutal scenes in Fight Club is the chemical burn. Tyler pours lye, a caustic chemical used in soap making, onto the back of Jack's hand and holds it there while Jack screams in agony. This is your pain. This is your burning hand. It's right here. Jack tries to escape into his cave meditation, the guided visualization technique he learned from support groups, but Tyler won't let him. Stay with the pain. Don't shut this out. This isn't torture. It's initiation and pain. Pain is one of the most effective methods because it forces you into the present moment. You can't think about the past or future when your hand is burning. You can't maintain your ego defenses. You're stripped down to pure sensation, pure being. Tyler is using pain to induce gnosis, and once Jack is in that state, Tyler delivers the teaching. First you have to know, not fear. Know that someday you're going to die. This is memento mori. Remember you will die. It's an ancient meditation practice found in Stoicism, Buddhism, Christian monasticism, contemplating your own mortality to strip away illusions and live authentically. But Tyler doesn't let Jack contemplate it philosophically. He forces Jack to feel it, to know it in his body, in his burning flesh. The scar that forms is permanent. It's a mark, a sigil. In chaos magic, a sigil is a symbol that encodes magical intent. You create it, you charge it with energy, and you release it into your unconscious mind to manifest results. Tyler has just carved a sigil into Jack's flesh, a permanent reminder of mortality, a magical mark that says, you are not safe, you are not in control, you are going to die. Every time Jack looks at that scar, the spell reactivates. The meditation on death continues, the ego dissolution deepens. This is initiation through ordeal. It's found in mystery schools, shamanic traditions, military training, gang initiations. You have to suffer to be transformed. You have to prove you can endure. And Jack endures. The scar becomes his badge, his proof that he's been through the fire and survived. But what he doesn't realize yet is that the scar isn't just a reminder. It's a binding, a magical link between him and Tyler, a mark of ownership. Soap as transmutation magic. Let's talk about soap. Tyler and Jack steal human fat from liposuction clinics. They render it down, mix it with lye, and create glycerin soap. They sell it to department stores for $20 a bar. We were selling rich women their own fat asses back to them. This is alchemy. Literal physical alchemy. In traditional alchemy, the goal is transmutation, turning lead into gold, transforming base matter into perfected matter. But alchemy isn't just about chemistry, it's about consciousness. The outer work reflects the inner work. Transforming metal is a metaphor for transforming the self. Chaos magic strips away the metaphor. If you can transform matter through will and process, you're doing magic. Results matter. Symbolism is secondary. Tyler performs a 3-stage alchemical process. Stage 1, nigredo, blackening. Human fat, waste, the discarded excess of consumer culture. This is the prima materia, the raw, chaotic substance. It's disgusting. It's rejected. It's base. Stage 2, albedo, whitening. Rendering the fat, purifying it, mixing it with lye. The chemical process transforms waste into something clean, white, pure. Soap, a symbol of purification. Stage 3, rubedo, reddening. But Tyler doesn't stop at soap. He takes the glycerin and makes nitroglycerin, explosives. The purified substance becomes a weapon. The final stage of alchemy, transformation into power. This is the alchemical process compressed into one product. Waste becomes commodity, becomes weapon. And here's the genius. Tyler is selling the soap to the same people who produce the fat. The rich women who got liposuction are buying their own bodies back, transformed and repackaged. It's a closed loop, a perfect magical working. The soap itself becomes a sigil. Pink bars distributed throughout society, each one carrying the encoded message, you are consuming yourself. You are the product. You are the waste. Paper Street Soap Company isn't a business. It's a front for magical warfare. Tyler is infiltrating the temples of consumerism, department stores, boutiques, with corrupted sacraments. Every bar of soap is a Trojan horse, a sigil of destruction hidden in plain sight, and nobody notices. Because it's just soap. That's the beauty of chaos magic. It doesn't look like magic, it looks like entrepreneurship, like art, like vandalism, like soap. But the intent is there. The will is there. The transformation is happening. Tyler isn't just making soap, he's performing mass transmutation, turning the waste products of consumer culture into weapons against that same culture. Alchemy in action. The middle children speech. Man, I see in Fight Club the strongest and smartest men who've ever lived. I see all this potential, and I see squandering. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. And we're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off. This is the most quoted speech from Fight Club. And it's not motivational. It's deprogramming. In chaos magic, one of the core principles is, nothing is true, everything is permitted. This doesn't mean moral relativism. It means that all belief systems are tools, not truths. Consensus reality, the shared hallucination we call normal life, is just one paradigm among infinite possibilities. To practice chaos magic, you have to be able to shift paradigms. Adopt a belief system, use it, discard it. Move fluidly between worldviews without getting trapped in any single one. But most people are trapped. They've been programmed by culture, media, education, advertising to believe in a very specific paradigm. Work hard, buy things, climb the ladder, achieve success, be happy. Tyler's speech is designed to shatter that paradigm. He's not offering a new belief system. He's destroying the old one. He's pointing out the contradictions, the emptiness, the lie at the heart of consumer capitalism. You are not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You're not the car you drive. You're not the contents of your wallet. You're not your fucking khakis. This is paradigm destruction, stripping away every external identifier until nothing is left but raw, undefined being. And once the old paradigm is destroyed, there's a vacuum, a void, chaos. That's when Tyler installs the new paradigm. Fight Club, Project Mayhem, the spiritual war. He's not freeing these men, he's reprogramming them. This is how chaos magicians operate. You break down the old belief system, create a crisis of meaning, and then offer a new structure to fill the void. Tyler reframes their suffering as sacred. Their dead-end jobs aren't failures, they're tests. Their rage isn't pathological, it's righteous. He gives them purpose, meaning, a mission. And they follow him. Because humans need meaning more than they need comfort, more than they need safety. Tyler understands this. He's weaponizing it. The speech is a verbal sigil. Every word is chosen to destabilize, to enrage, to activate. It's not meant to be analyzed. It's meant to be felt, and it works. Because 25 years later, men are still quoting it, still feeling it, still being activated by it. That's the power of a well-crafted magical working. It doesn't expire. Fight Club is ritual space. Fight Club isn't therapy, it's ritual. The location matters. A basement. Underground. Separated from the ordinary world. In occult traditions, ritual space must be liminal, between worlds, outside normal time and rules. The basement of Lou's Tavern is perfect. It's dark, it's secret, it's other. The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. Secrecy is essential in occult practice, not because the knowledge is dangerous, though it is, but because secrecy creates power. The hidden has more force than the revealed. Mystery generates energy. To know, to dare, to will, to keep silent. Fight Club functions like the rules of a mystery school. They define the boundaries of the ritual space. They separate initiates from outsiders. If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight. Immediate initiation through ordeal. No observation, no preparation. You participate or you leave. The fights themselves are sacramental. Blood is spilled. Pain is endured. Witnesses form a circle, the classic ritual structure. 2 men enter the center. They strip away pretense, civility, ego. They become pure aggression, pure presence. This is gnosis through violence. Every punch is a small death. Every fight is a small rebirth. You go into the circle as one person, the worker, the consumer, the slave, and you come out as something rawer, something real. The men don't talk during fights. They don't explain. They just fight. This is another chaos magic principle: action over theory, results over philosophy. After the fight, there's no resentment, no grudges. The violence is contained within the ritual space. It doesn't leak into ordinary life. That's the function of ritual, to create a container for forces that would otherwise be destructive. But Tyler doesn't stop at Fight Club. He introduces homework assignments, vandalism, assault, boundary-pushing tasks that force members to break their own rules, their own sense of morality. I want you to pick a fight with a stranger and I want you to lose, Tyler instructs. This is progressive initiation. Each task is slightly more extreme than the last. Each one dissolves another layer of socialization, another piece of the consensus reality programming. The members don't question it. They obey. Because Tyler has created a ritual structure that bypasses rational thought and speaks directly to something deeper: the need for meaning, for brotherhood, for purpose. Fight Club is a temple. Tyler is the high priest, and the sacrament is violence. The egregore awakens. This is the moment when Tyler stops being Jack's servitor and becomes an egregore, a thought form sustained by group belief. The Space Monkeys, Project Mayhem members, wear identical black clothes, they shave their heads, they give up their names. In Project Mayhem, we have no names. This is ego dissolution on a mass scale. Individual identity is sacrificed to the collective, and that collective energy feeds Tyler. He's no longer dependent on Jack. He has hundreds of believers now. Thousands, potentially, each one channeling their will, their rage, their devotion into the egregore. Tyler becomes autonomous. Jack starts losing time, he wakes up in strange places. Tyler is acting without him, using their shared body for missions Jack doesn't remember. This is the danger of servitor work. If you create an entity and feed it too much power, it can override you. It can take control. Project Mayhem's missions escalate. Vandalism becomes assault. Assault becomes terrorism. They destroy corporate art. They threaten city officials. They plan to blow up credit card company buildings to erase debt records and create financial equilibrium. Tyler's vision is apocalyptic. He wants to collapse civilization and return humanity to a primitive state. No more corporations, no more consumerism, just survival. This is anarcho-primitivism. It's also chaos magic taken to its logical extreme. If belief creates reality, then destroying the current reality allows a new one to emerge. But here's the contradiction. Tyler criticizes slavery while creating new slaves. The Space Monkeys are just as controlled as corporate workers. They follow orders without question. They wear uniforms. They chant slogans. Tyler has replaced one paradigm with another. He hasn't freed anyone, he's just changed the master. But egregores don't care about consistency. They care about power. And Project Mayhem is powerful. The members worship Tyler. They quote him. They obey him. They would die for him. And one of them does. Urban sigil warfare. Project Mayhem's vandalism isn't random. It's strategic. It's magical. Every corporate logo is a sigil, a symbol encoding the values, the identity, the power of that corporation. When you see the Nike swoosh, you don't just see a shape, you feel something. Aspiration, athleticism, status. That's sigil magic. The symbol bypasses your conscious mind and speaks directly to your unconscious. Tyler understands this. So Project Mayhem targets corporate sigils for destruction. Coffee franchises, clothing stores, computer companies. They deface the logos, smash the windows, destroy the symbols. This is sigil warfare. You destroy the enemy's symbols to weaken their hold on consensus reality. But Project Mayhem doesn't just destroy, they create their own sigils. The smiley face graffiti, the black clothes, the chants. These are Project Mayhem's symbols, encoding their values. Chaos, destruction, rebellion. Every act of vandalism is a magical working. Every destroyed logo is a spell broken. Every new symbol is a spell cast. And then there's the pornography. Tyler splices single frames of pornography into family films, children's movies, wholesome entertainment, introducing single-frame subliminals. This is Tyler's own technique, appearing in single frames before Jack consciously meets him, weaponized against society. He's corrupting the cultural sigils, inserting chaos into order, planting seeds of disruption in the collective unconscious. It's psychological warfare. It's also chaos magic. The goal isn't just to shock or offend, it's to destabilize, to create cracks in consensus reality, to make people question what they're seeing, what they're believing. Chaos magic is results-based. Does it work? That's the only question that matters. And Project Mayhem works. The city is terrified, the police are overwhelmed, the media is obsessed, Tyler's sigils are spreading, his egregore is growing, the magical working is succeeding. The blood sacrifice. Robert Paulson, Big Bob from the Testicular Cancer Support Group, dies during a botched Project Mayhem mission. He's shot by the police while trying to destroy a corporate art installation. Jack is devastated. Bob was his friend. Bob was real. But the space monkeys don't mourn. They chant, "His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson." This is martyrdom ritual. Bob's death isn't a tragedy, it's a sacrifice. His individual life is subsumed into the collective. He becomes a symbol, a rallying cry. In occult traditions, blood sacrifice is the most powerful fuel for magical workings, not because the gods demand it, but because death releases enormous energy. Grief, rage, devotion, these emotions supercharge any ritual. Bob's death supercharges Project Mayhem. The members become more fanatical, more devoted, more willing to die. Tyler has transformed a failure into a victory, a death into a birth. Bob the individual is gone, but Robert Paulson, the martyr, is immortal. This is the alchemy of sacrifice. The individual dies so the collective can live. Jack sees this and recoils. I wanted to destroy something beautiful, but I didn't want this. This is the moment Jack realizes Tyler has gone too far, that the servitor he created has become a monster, that the magical working is out of control. But it's too late. The egregore doesn't need Jack anymore. Tyler is sustained by the space monkeys now, by their belief, by their blood. Bob's death is the tipping point. The moment when Project Mayhem stops being a rebellion and becomes a religion, and Tyler is the god. Killing the egregore. I am Jack's complete lack of surprise. The reveal. Tyler and Jack are the same person. Dissociative identity disorder. The servitor was always internal, except it's not that simple anymore. Tyler has become autonomous. He acts independently. He has his own plans, his own followers. He doesn't need Jack's permission. Jack tries to stop him. He calls Marla. He tries to warn the police. He fights Tyler in a parking lot, literally fighting himself, punching his own face, throwing himself downstairs. The space monkeys find him. They think he's trying to undermine Tyler. They're ready to castrate him, the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate submission. But Jack realizes something. Tyler is a thought form, a belief, and beliefs can be destroyed. My eyes are open. He puts the gun in his mouth, not to kill himself, to kill Tyler. Because if Jack dies, Tyler dies. The servitor loses its anchor. The egregore loses its creator. But there's a risk. If Jack actually dies, Tyler wins. The space monkeys continue. Project Mayhem continues. The buildings still explode. So Jack has to thread the needle. He has to shoot himself in a way that destroys Tyler but leaves Jack alive. He pulls the trigger. The bullet goes through his cheek. Non-fatal. But the belief is shattered. The spell is broken. Tyler disappears. Jack has successfully destroyed his own creation. He's withdrawn his belief, his energy, his will. The servitor is banished, but the egregore remains. The buildings explode on schedule. Project Mayhem's plan succeeds. The credit card companies collapse. Financial records are erased. Tyler is gone, but his work continues. Because egregores don't need their creators. They're sustained by the collective now. Jack holds Marla's hand and watches the buildings fall. He's free of Tyler. But Tyler's legacy is just beginning. The magical working is complete. Tyler Durden was never meant to be a hero. He's a cautionary tale about chaos magic gone wrong. About what happens when you create something through pure will and desperation, and it becomes more real than you are. The occult principle is simple. Belief creates reality. Focused intention manifests results. And if enough people believe in something, even a fictional character, it takes on a life of its own. Fight Club isn't just a movie, it's a grimoire. A step-by-step guide to creating a servitor, feeding it with blood and belief, and watching it become an autonomous force. Create the entity through altered states and emotional intensity. Give it purpose. Feed it with ritual and sacrifice. Let it grow until it no longer needs you, and then try to stop it. Tyler Durden is still out there, still being quoted, still being worshipped, still recruiting believers, because egregores don't die. They just wait for the next person desperate enough, angry enough, broken enough to give them form. The question isn't whether Tyler Durden is real. The question is, are you feeding him? If you want to explore more occult symbolism hidden in cinema, subscribe to the channel. We're breaking down the spells you didn't know you were watching. And remember, be careful what you create. It might outlive you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.